ways for us to learn in 2019. I am here to talk to you about a few ways you can gain your education. 3 ways of getting your education include online learning, traditional learning, and blended learning. Now you may ask, what are the differences between the 3, and what are the similarities? Well, online learning is the process of using the internet to gain your education. Online learning can also be called e-learning because it is web-based. When a student chooses to learn online, their internet is their main tool for their education. In 2018, James Patterson stated that online learning is providing a gateway for a college education for an increasing number of students. What this means is that now there is a higher percentage of students choosing the online education path instead of the traditional education path. The main difference between online learning and traditional learning is the location. When a student chooses traditional learning, they chose to have their classes on campus. Sometimes they will use the internet as a tool for school. However, this does not mean they chose the online education path. Blended learning is a mixture between the two. When a student chooses blended learning, they choose to have both online classes and traditional classes. There are many pros and cons for each way to learn. I have listed the pros and cons for traditional learning on the visual aid. One of the major pros for traditional learning is that you get more of a one-on-one time with the teacher. For some students, one-on-one time with the teacher is extremely important. This is because the one-on-one time helps them process new information, and it makes it easier for them to remember the new information they learn. One of the major cons for traditional learning is the flexibility. When a student chooses traditional learning, it means that their class day has a start time and an end time. This time is usually stuck in schedule and it is not flexible or movable. One of the major pros for online learning is the flexibility. This is completely different from traditional learning because flexibility was one of the cons. It was not one of the good things about traditional learning. When a student chooses to learn online, their class day does not have a set time for starting or ending. They will have due dates for their assignments, tasks, and tests. However, their class day does not have a set schedule. One of the major cons for online learning is the high dropout rates. A study funded by the Lumina Foundation for Education and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation showed that students who learned online were more likely to drop out than students who learned traditionally or did the blended learning path. This chart was provided by Camilo Lento. As you can see, online students had a low attendance rate. Their attendance rate rose whenever there was midterms and finals. The low attendance rate led to failing. If a student were to not attend a class, they would miss assignment dates or test dates, which led to failing. If a student were to fail a class, they were most likely to drop out of their education. This is what led to high dropout rates. So that was a little bit about the ways you can learn. There is online learning, which is web-based, traditional learning, which is on campus, and blended learning, which is a mixture of both. Our public speaking class is a class that is 100% web-based. We are in this class because we either chose the fully online learning path or the blended path. If one were to choose the traditional path, they would most likely not be in this class, and their public speaking class would be on campus. If you would like to do more research of the topic I have spoken to you about, here is a list of the references I have used.